Hello, everyone. We are now beginning week 13, and I think it's a little bit fitting that the 13th week begins right after Halloween. So, a little spookiness going on here, which actually plays into this week's reading as well. So, this week we are reading Salman Rushdie. The man is still alive. So, we're really getting into some diversity, and we're really getting into some more recent authors here. So, Rushdie was born in India, and he was born in India during the final year that India was a subject of the British crown. India would be granted its freedom when Rushdie was about a year old. So here we have a man born not in England, not in Ireland or Scotland, but born in India, who is subject to British rule at the time of his birth, but he's actually going to become an Indian citizen after that. And of course, now I think he lives in England, believe it or not. So, if you've heard of Rushdie before, it's probably because he wrote a book called The Satanic Verses, which ended up, because he portrayed Muhammad, the Prophet Muhammad, in a negative way, there's now a bounty on his head. Don't go trying to collect on that bounty. It's only $1 million, and the people that issued that bounty against him are probably dead now and be unable to pay. But he still lives with this bounty on his head. It's called a fatwa, by the way. So we're going to read two works by him. One of them is Imaginary Homelands, where he discusses, well, what is it like to be Indian? Am I really an Indian? Am I a British subject? What about the people that are not from India that are still considered Indians, like people from Bangladesh or people like places like that? And so he's going to say, he doesn't really have a true national identity. He's kind of between identities. And so trying to define himself as an Indian or a British is difficult. And so what I've done to make it more relevant to today is I've included a video about what it means to be an American. And you're going to see several young people that are going to say, well, being an American means this. No, it means that. No, it means this. No, it means that. Because, America is such a large country and such a diverse country. The question of what does it mean to be an American is a difficult one to answer. So that's what this week's discussion is going to be is, if a space creature came down from outer space and asked you to define what an American is, how would you do it? So that would put you in the same struggle that Rushdie was having when he wrote Imaginary Homelands. And then we've got a work of fiction. Again, Rushdie is a novelist and a short story writer, and so the fiction is The Prophet's Hair. And it turns out that the Prophet's hair is a strand of hair from the Prophet Muhammad that has magical qualities. So again, magic fitting in with that Halloween theme, maybe a week late, but still. So the reader response, and I want you to pay attention to the instructions on the reader response, by the way. Some of you are asking me why you got such low grades, and the answer is usually, did you read the instructions? So read the instructions all the way through. And, answer the question and, give me the direct quote and things like that. So this magical quality, you've got a British subject writing about a Muslim prophet's hair. And it's got magical qualities that brings doom and gloom to people who possess it when they're not supposed to. And so not only to them, but to their families as well. So you're going to see that little magical, mystical quality. And it's kind of a blending, if you will, of Indian storytelling and British storytelling. So that's what the reader response is going to be trying to answer there. So don't forget the discussion question. Don't forget the quiz. And the reading quiz. It's going to be on both readings. And don't forget the paper this week. And I really think you're going to enjoy Rushdie. He's one of my favorite authors that we're going to be reading this semester. So not that I dislike any of the authors. I love all the authors. But Rushdie just, because he's so unique, holds a special place. So happy reading, and I look forward to seeing your discussions on what it means to be an American.